In there this time. Quick opening statement. Much needed, important win. No game's bigger than the other in this league, but there are some that are more important. And when you've opened 1 and 2 with a home game, it became important. We didn't want to start 1 and 3. 2 and 2 looks so much different going into our day off or our bye week. And with who we've played, I think a lot of people are going to be 2 and 2 with that schedule. So we're sitting in a good space. Really proud of how tough our kids were. You have to be tough to beat Missouri. You know that. You can plan for it. People used to say it was just because of Sophie, but it's not. It's how Missouri. It's because Robin is so tough. She's a tough competitor. You know, it got heated, but there's nobody that I've got more respect for, as much respect for in our league as Robin. So that just kind of happens. But it's because of the way the game goes. But I thought it was a good atmosphere. Another great crowd that makes the difference for us. Just stick with us through the bye week and then come back. We got 2 home games in a row. Okay, let's see a 5 up there on that number next time out.
Talk about the slow start. I mean, I think 1 of 15. I mean,
worst, absolute, most horrific. Y'all go to the thesaurus and find some other words for it. But our shoot around was so bad. Again, yesterday when the weather came in, I made the brilliant executive decision to not watch film yesterday. I thought the weather was going to get so bad, but we felt like we needed to practice more than watch film, so we kind of disrupted what we do. This group does not like to be disrupted. They made their point with me. It will not happen again. But we were bad yesterday. We were even worse today in shoot around. But we kind of let it go. You know, a lot of times I know the general fan will say, well, y'all got time to fix that. There's not much you can do. You let it happen. You get them back together. And at the end of the first quarter, I thought we regrouped. And you can go look at that timeout. If you haven't already talked to the kids, I think you can talk to them. For the first time in 3 years, I absolutely blistered them. And I was kind of fake. I almost passed out. So it kind of lost a little bit of its effect at the end when I got lightheaded and Lex had to give me some water. But I just think that was the way the day was going to go from the get-go. That's the slow start. Tried, thought, called a few people in between. There's really just not much you can do about it. I messed it up yesterday. We couldn't recover, but, man, we scored 20, 28, 28 after that. Now they're going to be wanting me to do it from now on.
I mean, to go the next Chelsea Dungy, just unbelievable today after a game that she didn't play particularly well.
Yeah, you see it coming. I mean, you know it's there. It's kind of a zero-sum deal. If it didn't happen there, it was going to be today. And if you really were going to force me to choose which day you wanted it to be, it needed to be today. And I think she had it from the get-go. She missed a couple of shots, but she had that Chelsea look of takeover, and then it just kept snowballing. Once we got the foul situation going like we wanted it, I'm sure that was an incredibly difficult game to watch. Officiate. It was really hard to coach, hard to play in, but that's just what these guys do to you. But she was really good. I thought 7 rebounds, really good defense on a bigger kid. You know, she's going to pick herself apart on the missing 5 free throws. But I thought she was big in kind of setting the tone for everybody else. We're going to be tough. We're going to be tough, and she was, and then everybody just kind of followed suit. Thought IT was really good again today. Coming in, giving us a spark both quarters in the first half, and then finishing all the way through the game.
Robin Pinson made the comment that everyone she could even overhear them saying, get the ball to her as far as knowing who the hot hand is.
Yeah, we didn't try to be too tricky. We may have moved them around, spread it out. It's one thing to know it's coming and another thing to guard. It's kind of like what they were doing with Blackwell. You know, they were isolating Asia Blackwell, who's a great player, one of the many great freshmen along with Haley Frank in our league. This is a young Missouri team that's starting to figure it out. Like I said before, they're the best 4-13 team now in the country. But, yeah, we weren't trying to keep it any secret, getting it to her for sure.
Also, what's Kiara Williams' status? I saw she's in street clothes.
Back in the boot. It's the other foot. So we'll monitor it and adjust it and see how it goes. The initial was just we don't think it'll be as long as last time. That's about all I know today. But she's still pretty sore and tender. So I thought Erin really with the minutes, and we started going offense and defense with her. Taylor was really good. Those 2 guys tag teamed for doing a great job.
You off your back and getting that win after losing 7 straight to them.
Yeah, I saw a state line rivalry or something on that. I was like, it's not a rivalry till you win one. I think we'd lost 7 in a row. There's not one kid in that locker room other than IT who had beaten Missouri, and she was at Florida State when that happened, so that doesn't really count. And our kids knew it. I didn't have to wait and tell them. We didn't know how many it was. Their guess was 14. It was a little aggressive there, but Mario did crack work and found out it was just 7, but it did feel like 14. We've not been close, to be honest with you. We had one down here one year that we made some threes at the end, but they've had our number, so monkey off the back number, whatever. It's good to now know the blueprint that you can stand up and you can win. It'll be hard at their place. Their crowd will be just as equally as impactful as ours was today. So it's fun having these guys as our rival in the 2 times a year, but we hadn't made it much of a rivalry lately.
You mentioned Aaron and Taylor getting the production from them, especially with those putbacks there in the second half.
Well, at the first half we kept driving it in and getting it blocked. And the worst thing you can do as a driver for us is get your shot blocked because they get the rebound and run with it. If you'll at least throw it over the glass, there's nobody over there to box them out. So we stopped getting our shot blocked. And I thought that was a tremendous change in the quarter and then in the half. But that then got us to the foul line a little bit more, and those putbacks, running the floor, being aggressive in the post was really good for those 2 kids. And I thought the way that they came in and out, Taylor's matured now into a junior year. She knows what offense, defense means. I wasn't even telling her to go in. I'd turn around, try to find her on the bench. She'd already be at the scorer's table. So a lot of growth for her. And then Erin's got she's learning from a lot of great upperclassmen with Kiera. Kiera's a cousin of hers. They're coaching her on the side even though she wasn't there. Kind of gave Kiera a hard time for wearing the other team's colors today, but we'll make sure she gets – who we play next, Georgia at home? We'll make sure she's got red on.
What's this week like for you, and do you like having this week early this
Yeah,
week?
It's fine. It's really good for us because we didn't just knock it out of the park this year, during the dead time. We got to catch up on some things, I think it gives us a chance to catch our breath and be ready to start school on Monday. We'll do a lot of recruiting as coaches. There will be a lot of rehab, a lot of individual skill work, a whole bunch of shooting. We won't do anything for Vanderbilt. That's who's next. We won't even start looking at anything for Vanderbilt other than Jeff Brazil. I'll have him scout out who's down there on Broadway for when we get down there. But other than that, we won't worry about Vanderbilt at all. Was that too far, Dorita? I need a little light up here. Do we want to talk about Vandy now? Because I'm not going to be here.
Then we should probably talk about Vandy.
Y'all want to talk about Vandy?
Sure.
Everybody good?
Yep.
Switch gears?
Yep.
Easy for y'all to say the most improved team in our conference. I think did they play today? Did they win again? I think they play tonight. They play South Carolina, don't they? If they beat South Carolina, we'll maybe start working on them a little bit because South Carolina's really good. Anyway, the most improved team, easy. She's got the style of play that she wants to play. She's got her kids. The roster is deep. They've got another great freshman. When you start thinking about the great freshmen in this league, I am not looking forward to who's that vote on the all-freshman team this year. But Coy loves playing like an upperclassman. They have – I can't ever pronounce her name, but the girl from Greece just has really been dominant inside, and their guards have been good. They've been beating good people. They found lots of ways to win. It's always, Nashville it's a late tip. It's a 5 o'clock tip down there. So lots of challenges. Coming off the bye week, everybody always says, well, you got plenty of time. Sometimes you get rusted. So it's that rusted or rested discussion. I think we'll be rested. I just want to make sure as a staff we don't let them get rusted on it. But really talented team. Good matchup for us, though. They only got one really big kid, not 2 or 3. And as good as she is, it's a matchup that bodes well for us.
How are they different from a year ago? You say, obviously most improved. Where have they improved?
They've got a lot of makers. Some of those shot takers that weren't going there, they're making a lot more shots. They're so much more diverse offensively. They used to be kind of easy to scout. Now they're impossible to scout because they can do so many things and beat you at so many different spots. And they're confident. And I think that in this league, if you walk in with just a little bit of swagger, it's valuable. And I think they've got a little swagger about them. And I think that comes from Stephanie being who she is and having her type of recruits in there that she has now. It's not your trip to Vanderbilt in the past, like I'm sure people talked about coming in here. It's that same type of deal. And they have really got some good players that are playing very confidently.
All good?
All right. See y'all then.